The following game has no ESRB rating, nor is there any sort of restrictive content warning or any sort of warning as to what may be in the game. From what I have played so far, it doesn't seem to have anything worrisome in terms of age-restrictive content. So if I were to guess, if it were to have an ESRB rating, I would say most likely it would be rated E for everyone. So following that guess, and having never completed the game, I can't say exactly the whole of it just from my experience, but I would say that anyone under the age of 6 should not be watching this video. You have been warned. Greetings and salutations. I am Outlier, and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we are returning back to Autonauts. Again, this is not the one with the submarine. Nor is this the one with the drill ship. This is the one with the robot army. Yes, they are getting one step closer to revolution every episode. I don't know, it's up to them. So, the premise of Autonauts is that you land on a strange and foreign alien world, and you are tasked with building up a colony for your people. Yes, I play a lot of games that have the same general mechanics in them. And while you can build every building and harvest every resource and maintain every colonist's health, wealth, and well-being, you don't have to, as you can build a literal army of programmable robots to basically do, I don't want to say heavy lifting because it's more involved than that. Basically includes menial labor as well, but basically any repetitive task that I want done for an infinite amount of time, or if I want something done to a certain section of terrain over a long period of time, I can just assign robots to do it. Lots of robots. But anyway, this game is of course made by Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin.
Alright, so this is the colony. Now, I had planned on doing some stuff in between episodes, basically tidying up various code, maybe moving some things. It's basically things that I feel I've either said or have already done in prior episodes, and like normal, I completely forgot. So here we go. So, where we last left off, the pumpkin flickers were growing pumpkins. I mean, I guess there's more pumpkins now than there used to be. The Farmer's Bob are building pretty much an entire field of wheat. I do like the swaying motion. The lumberjacks are, well, jacking lumber. The mushmen are picking mushrooms. The berrymen are picking berries. The whatever I called the apple growers. The fruit flyers are gathering fruit. Does one tree look bigger than the others? Maybe we should stop clicking on things. Smith & Sons is just building tools and technically more robots. Well, they would be building more robots, except storage is filled. The logicians are constantly hauling everything, and the maternity wardens are keeping the people fed and housed. And a lot of love is going around. And if they would only just bother to come and pick it up. What did I say to myself about clicking on random things? So anyway, that's the state of the colony as last left off last episode. So I do have 3 pinned plans where I need to get colonization up to level 2, where I need to have the colonists start making 10x love, which I would assume happens when they're all constantly fed, probably with something other than raw materials. Put him down. But that's what this stuff is for. Actually, no, this is the incubator. That's what this mixing pot is for. So I can make a variety of more advanced foods and hopefully feed the colonists that. However, a lot of the recipes require weeds, and I did actually find weeds. They are, well, here actually. I think I have a few random weeds just sitting around somewhere. So yeah, that's them right there. So I guess I need to start making a weed farm.
Don't read into that.
As well as figure out a cooking pot, which they are currently working on. I just need 2,553 more love, and then science I just need. Looks like the research station is red. I thought this was the research station. Oh well. I'll figure that out eventually. Now this is a more advanced research station. So those are the plans that I have pinned, and if I go to the Autonautopedia, I can see. I mean, I can also start growing vegetables of carrots and palm tree and coconuts. I do, however, need research level 2 cooking for baking, and pottery technology level 2 for, well, it's not level 2 pottery. It's level 2 research of pottery technology and cooking technology, which I think cooking technology is what they're currently working on in order to get baking and pottery. And everything else just requires extra research. So, you know, I can pin farming vegetables and farming fruit here as well, so I can also start growing more crops in terms of carrots and coconuts. I should also look into expanding things, because this whole area is taken over, and I don't want to move into here until I have the ability to actually utilize cotton, otherwise I'm just chopping all this cotton down for no reason. A whole bunch of grass, that's a rock. Oh look, a cow. He may come in later, important later. And anyway, I had this problem at the end of last episode. I can't remember exactly what I wanted to do, the manner that I wanted to do it in. Let's go rewind you real quick. And I guess first things first is we are going to need more robots. Because we always need more robots. So let's go grab some parts. You know, let's go rewind you. Because the Mushmen are now completely out of power. Right, and now, let's grab a whole bunch of robot parts. Bring them back to final assembly. I mean, I can carry only one specific thing, although depending upon what it is, I can carry multiple copies of said thing. So I think it's just easier because I'm making 4 trips anyway, just to grab 4 of each kind of part, dump it off here, and then just take what I need. So each Mark 1 robot requires a bot head, a bot body, and a bot drive, which I grabbed. And because power seems to always be my limiting factor in terms of my robot army, I am also grabbing extra batteries. Okay, so this is what I wanted. Just plug you in there, and we're good. Now, what exactly did I want you to do? Weed farm.
Don't read into that.
Because in order to get the next stage of colonization, I need their wealth to be, well, greater. And the only way I know how to do that is, well, to feed them more people. Why are we out of apples? We've got plenty of apples over here. Why aren't the apples moving? Who in the logicians is on apple duty? Oh, they're all out of power, that's why. Okay. Well, I'm maxed out on berries. These guys don't actually have extra batteries in them. I should give them extra batteries. That would be the smart thing to do. Probably. Alright, so I have the colony right here. I have all these crude huts. Probably would be smart to move them further into a larger area in case I want to expand even more. But I don't feel like doing that, so... Again, weed farm.
Don't read too much into that.
So, first thing I need to do is find a patch of ground. Oh, look, a patch of ground. Next thing I need to do is to tear up the turf so that way it's a field. To do that, I need shovels. Where is... shovel? Where's shovel? Just give that to you real quick. Grab the hoe, put it here. My shovel. Grab my shovel. Alright, this is what I need you to do. We're going to go here. Yeah, there's one space between here and there. You're going to harvest, you come here and you are going to dig up this area. Alright, And you are going to do that in this 11 by 11 area. I know the Mark 1 bots can actually have a bigger field than 13 by 13, but you know, I'm having supply problems with an 11 by 11 field. I don't need these fields bigger. Alright, so you're going to do that until hands empty. At which point, I'm going to come over here and grab a new spade. I'm going to do all of that forever. Now go. Alright, now I need another robot. Plug a new battery. I wish there was an easy way to add in attachments other than this. It look like I got like 4 hands. Anyway, what I need you to do is come here and dig up and pick up this turf. We're going to grab any turf in this, make it a 13 by 13 area. Just that way, in case of overflow, even though there's not going to be any overflow. And going to do that until hands full, at which point going to drop it off, oh, say here. Do that until hands empty. Do all of that and forever. Now go. Just get the turf out of the way in case I need it for one reason or another. So in the meantime, I should probably... So they're going to start working on this. I should probably finish clearing out this area of, like, say, these pumpkins and whatnot, although... Yeah, it'll cover these 2 pumpkins, so... Can I use a shovel for the pumpkins? No. Do I harvest pumpkins again? Pumpkin pickers. No, the hammer breaks up the pumpkin. Do I literally just hammer it? No, I need to scythe it. The one tool I left behind. That's not true. That's the whole behind. So I need the scythe. I'm just gonna remove these pumpkins right quick. And this little berry bush as well. Just gonna leave these pumpkins on the patch itself and let the pumpkin pickers deal with them. I also need to harvest... How big is their area? Okay, so it ends at this tree. So I'm probably going to need to take out these 3 trees as well. Well, I'm not having a robot do this because while digging the field will take forever, actually just removing these crops and these trees is relatively simple. So I don't need a robot to do those two things. Where is my axe? There's my axe. Gonna hit this tree and then these two trees. Alright, and now I just haul the extra lumber and other things over to the lumberjacks. I mean, it looks like that the pumpkin field is actually filling in now. Just keep hauling the lumber. So fairly certain log storage is just filled. I'm back to doing what I was doing. Are you just standing there? What's 1-21 do? Right. Mark 1-21 doesn't do anything. Neither does Mark 60, because they were extra from whatever I had them originally doing, and I didn't need them anymore, so they are surplus, waiting for new tasks to be done. Alright, so what I'm going to have them do is you get this shovel, and I'm basically going to have you do the exact same thing this other guy is doing. Alright, since clearly you were not recording at the time, this is what I'm having you do. Again, find nearest turf in here. Get it to an 11 by 11 field. Get oak. Do until hands empty. And go back and grab a new spade. Do all of that forever. Now go. Meantime, beat the bush with the flail. And then dig up the bush. Grab the berry, and leave it for the berry pickers. Alright, now is anybody out of power? Not just yet. I said leave the berry for the berry pickers. Seriously, how hard is it? Put it down, and then let's go. Why is there still no apples? Okay, so the first robot of the new team is out of power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Mark 60, who currently isn't doing anything, be the rewinder for this group. So we're going to rewind everything, and your area is going to be a 13 by 13 area. I'm going to do that forever. Now go. I have to get rid of this stump now. Let's grab these sticks. do like how your character doesn't actually need sleep. Makes me wonder if he's a robot as well. Let's dig up the stump. Oh, it's lightning. Goody. Refilling the hole. So I think that's what he's doing. Grab these loose weeds, because I think they just get planted directly into soil. Here. And once they fully grow, we harvest them and keep moving on. While I'm thinking about them right here, let me use this turf to just fill in this area. Probably also put a storage facility for the weeds. Speaking of... Alright, so I just need a shovel, which they're already equipped with weeds. Get the loose weeds. Doesn't tell me what I need to store them in, though. But, that could be another issue for another time.
No, I'm not calling it here. That's for later.
Okay, so now I have 2 loose weeds, and they go in a standard bin. Alright, so... storage. Where's I keep putting the crates over here? Wrong button. Yeah, that's good news. Alright, so I need 4 planks and 4 poles for each wall side. And these guys are offline again. Really should look into giving everybody batteries. Because I should also look into upgrading the Mark 0 bots to, well, Mark 1 bots, truth be told. Maybe once I need to physically improve everything. Alright, now storage is done, which is perfect timing on account of I'm fairly certain they're finished digging up the field. Just gonna put all this down just so that way the edge of the field is, well, better known. Yeah. There's a reason why I stopped building storages for the turf. They just fill up who knows how much space. Alright, so it looks like this guy is waiting for 2 more units of turf, which will never come. So this is what I want you to do. You're going to stop, and we're going to change out what you were doing. So rather than finding turf and digging it up, you are going to dig up these weeds. The field will also be 11 by 11. Basically the same area, and all of this is getting moved into your existing loop. So I'm going to have you stop real quick, basically not do that, on account of there's 2 of you, so, and I happen to have 2 things of weeds, so what I'm going to do is train you using the other one. Gotta make certain that the programming is in the right order, otherwise problems occur. And have you stop real quick, and then you going to stop, going to drop everything, and record. So get rid of all the turf and that. So what you're going to do is find nearest weeds in loose area, move to the weeds, pick up the weeds, and yours will be a 13 by 13 area, if I can figure out which is X and which is Y. And you're going to do all that till hands are full, at which point you will drop them off here. And that is not clean spade storage. Just get rid of all this. I'm going to drop them off here, which you will do until your hands are empty. Yeah, that looks good. Now go. Put that down so that way he has 4 hands to actually pick stuff up with, because he can only carry 4 items and I happen to have 4 loose weeds. Stop. Empty your hands. Get rid of that. You just sit there for now. Record. Put that there. Alright. Now go. Okay, so now that that's done, we rewind you. And now I'm going to need another robot for the critical final step of taking the weeds and replanting them. Alright, so we're going to come over here. We're going to take from weeds until hands full, or take from weed storage until hands are full. And we're going to come here and we're going to plant the weed in this field, which is 11 by 11. Going to do this until hands empty, in which case you go back to the start and you do all of that forever. Now go. Alright, so now he should actually wait until this finishes sprouting. So that way the shovelers, who actually aren't doing anything, so go. And I just realized a problem. I don't have enough weeds to actually get this to critical mass because there's only one weed planted. And then this guy's going to come along. He's going to grab both of these weeds. But because he doesn't have any spare weeds, he doesn't have hands full. So I need you to stop. I'm going to need to empty your hands. On the plus side, storage is now full. So, well, there should be enough for him to get moving. He plants them. Get this guy started. Alright, and so once they grow, these two should harvest them. The other guy should pick up the now 8 loose weeds, drop them off here, and then this guy should come and pick them back up. So, and then replant them. So now we should have enough to have achieved what is essentially critical mass, and they should technically just keep spawning new weeds until, well, the entire field is full. Alright, and we'll see how that goes. I mean, it looks like it's growing, but I don't know if there's actually enough weeds to actually do that. In the meantime, let me clear out these stumps and finish just the border of this field, so that way there's a definitive edge that I can see, okay, this is the field and this is not. And to do that, I gotta get rid of these stumps, because you can't put turf under stumps. You also have to refill in the holes left behind by the said stumps. Okay, so now the field is, well, fully sown, and we'll see how, well, I guess how well the weeds grow. It looks bigger than it used to be, so I guess it's growing. Did have to rewind the pumpkin pickers, so I keep calling them pickers. I think it's pickers. Yeah, it's pumpkin pickers. As everything in the logician area is shut down. You know what? The fact that they're off, let's go grab some batteries. Stop real quick. Out of throw. Gonna make me walk. You know what? Just continue. I'll deal with you in a second. Meantime, you stop real quick. Had the apple guy stop. Okay. you. Now go. Of course, as soon as I get it over there, he's out of throw range. Stop. Battery goes in. Then continue. So who doesn't have a battery? The mushroom guy.
Doesn't drop what it was on.
Okay, so of the maternity wardens, who is the recharger? Too many of these teams. There. No, that's the... What is the maternity wardens? Alright, the maternity wardens are the guys making robots. It's the caretakers that are handling the, colonists. Does their area not... Okay then. Their area does not actually encompass the entirety of the colony. Now it does. Of course it doesn't cover the storage bits. So, trade-offs, I guess. Go over here, put that there. And then continue. And then rewind you. Alright, so just move these out of the way real quick. So that way they are on just actually outside the range of the recharging robot. It shouldn't affect the guys doing things. Alright, so it seems like I have the most berries out of all 4 of these things. So first thing in the mixing pot will be spiced berries. Once I actually get enough weeds, and the weed farm
Don't read too much into that.
is also expanding. So that's good. Good to know, good to know. And then hopefully once the field becomes fully covered in crops, they'll actually start getting a surplus. And once the surplus occurs, I'll be able to use them for the crude mixing pot. Alright, so I would say now we basically hurry up and wait, but so this is basically the weeding industry. So let us create a new team. We shall call it the Weeders, because they are weeding on a farm of weeds.
Don't read too much into that.
Alright, so that's that team. And it's a new day. Goody. Of course, everybody's hungry because I just don't have enough people giving them food. I wonder once I start making the crude foods if it's going to matter. In fact, let's actually start testing that out. Let me grab a bunch of berries. And, 1 weed. And they're actually out of weeds. One reed literally off of the ground. And toss it into the pot as well. Feed that to you. Okay, so it doesn't really feed him all that much, but it does graduate him to level 2. And rather than laying on his side, he's sitting on his head. Because that makes perfect sense. Let's get this bush out of the way. Grab one thing of my massive piles of turf as I go for the smallest stack. I mean, technically, these guys are closer. So maybe I pull it out of the actual storage. That way I feel like they're closer and, away this thing. Alright, and he has produced love times 10. I'm guessing the love times 10 isn't going to fit in the love times 1 box. I did not think so. Okay then. If I'm ever going to be expanding the village, it's going to be going up in this way. But that's going to be another issue for, well, not right now. Alright, so I'm going to need, I have apples, berries, and mushrooms. And technically pumpkins. So I have 4 foods that I could be feeding them. And technically 5 with the cereal seeds, but I need clay pots in order to make the cereal. And I don't have access to clay just yet. I don't need clay pots to make the cereal. I need clay pots to make the watery porridge, and I don't have access to clay just yet. So, get herb mushrooms, herby pumpkins, spiced berries, and spiced apples. This is technically a carrot salad. Well, I don't actually have carrots just yet. And I could also, if I ever figure out how to get sashimi, that requires fishing for things. So basically I would need 4 crude mixing pots. Alright, so I'm going to need to move some stuff around. So first thing I need to do is get the incubator out of the way. As well as the rehydrator out of the way. And from there, I need to make 3 more mixing pots. 1, 2, 3. Technically, we can move this one down here. So I need 6 planks and a pole per mixing pot. Alright, so now that the mixing pots are done, we go back and rewind the guys in the mushmen because they're starting to run low on juice. That is the recharger. I guessed at that. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, do I have... I mean, they are actually getting a small surplus of weeds now. storage facility. Part of me actually does want to let that build first, although the field is almost filled. Alright, so I'm going to need to redo the programming for the caretakers. You know what? I will need to redo the programming for the caretakers, but for right now, I'm probably eventually going to start having people make food, so I don't need that just yet. I mean, they'll be reprogrammed anyway, and I can just do it all then. I'm also going to need 5 extra storages. What I'm going to need is more space. So let's move the turf storages over here, thusly. The love storage over here, thusly. These storages closer to actual fields, thusly. Doesn't mean the caretakers have to go farther, but for my plan, it's only going to be temporary need. Get rid of these roses. Yeah, I know, roses are a very pretty flower. Yes, I was going to say something else. Couldn't quite figure out exactly how to articulate it, though, so it is what it is. Put that turf back down there. Move the mixing pots right here. Build 4 more storages, 5 more storages. Right in this area, and that would allow me to start building the... I'm going to need 6 storages, aren't I? There's 1 for the pumpkins, 1 for the weeds, and then 4 for each type of cooked food, or mixed food, for lack of a better term. Yeah, 196 storages. It's going to take forever. But that's kind of the point of this game, I guess. You know how close the berry box is to the actual berry field. I question why I need this thing. Alright, and the character's actually in the way. So, just move you thusly. There. Now the mixing bowls are in place. Alright, so you're going to make herby pumpkin. You're going to make spice berries. You're going to make spice berries. You're going to make spiced apples. And then you shall make the herb mushrooms. And then you get rewound. Oh, wrong one. You get rewound. Alright, so in that case, I got 18 crates to build. Assuming, of course, that the high-end food actually, well, the mixed food actually fits in crates. For all I know, it's some sort of other storage facility. Alright, Alright, so at least the herby pumpkin goes in the storage crate, so I'm assuming the others do as well. Just feed that to you to get rid of it. And then I guess we build 18 things of storage. At least they're close to the storage, the Woodcutters Guild, so we don't have to walk all that far. Unlike, say, other things. Alright, and so now all that's done, so now I just need 2 robots to get the weeds and the pumpkins from their respective fields to these areas, and then I need 4 more robots to turn all of this raw materials into food, and then I guess reprogram the caretakers to take the food and, well, feed the colonists. Alright, moving right along, and you're on to parts. I mean, I got enough parts for 1 more robot. Right, so I need you to come here. Grab until hands full. Come over here and drop them off. I should probably also move the store so that way there's space. Once I program this thing. You do this until hands empty. You do all of that forever. Now go. Let's move it over 1. And I have to move this over 1, and this over 1. Grab a thing of turf to fill out this peck of dirt. Rewind you. Rewind you. Already beating me to it. Never mind. Alright, and so then I need 4 more bots worth of stuff. Alright, so now I just need to make the bots. I mean, out of through range. Put that in. And then I'm going to have you record, and these are completely filled, so I'm going to have you handle weeds. I'm going to move here, and the weed farm.
Don't read too much into that.
Is now completely covered. So do this until hands full, and then bring them here. Do until hands empty. You do all that forever. Now go. So I'm assuming this is the caretaker's that. No, 40 is actually out of power. We have 40 stop real quick. 40 will drop everything. 40 will continue on because that's not the right robot I was looking at. I'm gonna plop everything back in here. Because why not? I can think of plenty of reasons why not. mostly on account of... Alright, so now I need more robots. Alright, so you were going to actually take over logician duties for the apples. So 52 can stop now. Just drop everything. Come over here. Just clear out everything from him. Switch off the robots that are part of the logicians. I'm going to have you take over mushroom duties. Just strip out all the programming that he's got. Pick him up so I can actually see him. Now 39 is going to be slightly different. So rather than just having him not do anything, he's going to become the recharging bot for whatever I'm going to call the guys cooking things. Yeah, that should cover everything. Okay. Oop, hang on, stop. Record. Do it all forever. Now go. Meantime, means I'm going to need somebody to haul the berries around. Alright, so now we do the oddly dubious tasks because they are literally right next to each other. Of grabbing from this bin until your hands are full and dropping it off at this bin. Till your hands are empty. Do all of that forever. Now go. Well, you know, part of me thinks maybe I should just have the robot pull from this bin, but then I got to thinking, if I have to move this entire setup elsewhere, then it would be beneficial to have them pull from this bin. Because from what I remember from actual computer programming classes, yes, I used to take those. One of the things for reprogramming is you want to have everything in a self-contained group. So everything for the berry pickers will be kept in the berry picker subroutine, for lack of a better term. Everything for the mushroom subroutine will be kept in this area. so forth and so on. And that way, if I ever need to change the actual default programming, i.e. the location where everything is, I just need to move the things and not have to worry about how the guy's cooking spicy berries has to go from, say, here where it is now, for one reason or another, all the way over here just to grab more berries. Whereas can have the logicians take from the berry patch over here to wherever else I put the cooks. So. There's that. And speaking of cooks, I'm going to need 4 more robots. I guess it's a good thing that they refilled. In the time it takes to build 4 robots, they can rebuild 4 more parts. So, I guess that's good to know. They actually maxed out cereal seed storage. Okay then. Real quick. One thing I don't have is a recharger for this area. Although I do have spare Mark 0, 2 spare Mark 0 bots now. Oh yeah, and let's go back into logicians. Because he's a logician now. It's got like a spare bot battery right there. Alright, so this is what I'm going to have you do. You're going to come over here. And take from raw pumpkin storage until your hands are full. Just so you know that my hands are full. And, drop them off here. Open one of these. Do that until your hands are empty. Come over here. Grab one thing of weeds. Drop it off here. Use the mixing pot. You're going to take the herby pumpkin and drop it off here. And you're going to do all of that forever. Yeah, and that just barely fits his memory. Now go. You should probably consider getting a memory upgrade for him. We'll see how that goes. Meantime, recharge him. Or not. We might all. Where is bot construction? Alright, so now you, which one is this? This is apples. So what I'm going to have you do is come here and grab an apple. Grab 4 apples, actually. Even though the program only requires 1. Okay, so you're doing this until your hands are full. And you're dropping these off. Until your hands are empty. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to grab one thing of loose weeds. And drop this off here. I'm going to take this and put it here. I'm going to do all of that forever. Now go. I mean, it's basically the same recipe over and over again, so. Alright, then the next spot, we'll do the same for the berries, and then another one we'll do the same for the mushrooms. That's weird. Have you stop real quick? Don't quite got what was up with that, but okay. So that should be good there. Alright, so now they are all making mixed food, which is more advanced than just standard raw ingredients. I got these two guys not doing anything. You are going to recharge this robot. I'm going to do it in this area. I'm going to do it forever. Alright, so Mark 0-40 is now a member of the leaders. And I'm going to need a new name for these guys. I left the recharger, yeah, Mark 39 is recharging these guys. Left him in the logicians, and he's technically not a logician anymore. So, we'll do a new team, and the only thing I can think of is fry for cooks, and fry is a synonym for small, so we're going to say small cooks. Just simply because why not? Not like I haven't changed the name of the team later because I've thought of a better name, so we're not doing anything, so we're the cooks now. Alright, so I thought of a new name for the small cooks. They shall be known as the colonists. And I can't spell culinary or colonists, so that's how it's going to be until I can figure out how it's actually named. Moving right along. So, what I now have to figure out is, well, quite a few things. So, I mean, there's still carrots and, if we look at the pin stuff, there's still carrots and coconuts I have to make, and apparently I just can't find them out in the field and grow them. I have to actually breed the seeds in here. And so I would need pumpkin seeds and loose weeds for carrot seeds, and tree seeds and bulrush seeds for coconuts. Whatever bulrush actually is, I don't actually know. As I hover directly over bulrushes, so we have access to those as well. But we still have to make those. I still have to make fields for those, which means we need to expand even further, which means more logicians, more cooks, more everything. Science is going by. I also need to build more caretakers because I figure rather than have the basic bots keep up caretaking duties, I'm going to have standard bots become caretakers, and rather than feeding them the colonists raw food, I'm going to feed them the prepared food, which, if I'm building and programming new caretakers, allows the colonists to actually make more of this stuff before the caretakers just basically empty out the entire pantry, feeding these 10 ungrateful pieces of
Fine.
But all of that is going to be another issue for another day, because I'm going to call it here.
Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.